Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Adebanjo. In this video, we are going to be solving together WAEC 2023 further mathematics objective questions. So we are going to be solving the just concluded WAEC 2023 further mathematics objective questions together. So we have 40 objective questions to solve together, step by step, and provide solution to each of the question. So before we get it started, please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button on the channel right now, and you can also click on the notification button so that you will be notified whenever we post information on this platform. Also, you may share the videos, like and comment on it in the comment section of this video so as to help us improve on our next video. In the next video, we are going to be solving the theoretical part of WAEC 2023 General Mathematics question. Then after that, we are going to solve the theory of this further mathematics as well. So please stay tuned and as we do all this together, so as to enable us to do better in the forthcoming examination for those students that will be writing GC and the next year WAEC. So what are we going to do in this video? We are going to be telling you the topic where each of the questions were picked one after the other, and also we are going to be solving each of the questions systematically together. Then we are going to provide explanation to each of the solution. We are going to give a proper explanation to each of the question. Then we are going to pick the correct answer from the options provided. So I want you to stay tuned till the end of this video. Please don't go anywhere, as we are going to help ourselves one way or the other in this video. So let's jump to the first question. Now the first question is what you are seeing on the screen right now, and the question is from Surds. The question is from Surds. We have to express 3 over 3 minus Surds 6 in the form of x plus m Surds y. So we have to simplify this and express our answer in this format. So it's quite simple. We know that we are having a fraction here, and the denominator is in Surds form. And we know vividly that anytime we are having Surds and you're having fraction of Surds and denominator is in Surds form, that means we need to rationalize the Surds. So therefore, we need to rationalize this Surds by finding the conjugate of the denominator. What's the conjugate of 3 minus Surds 6? That will be 3 plus Surds 6. So we are going to use this conjugate to multiply up and down. So, and that is what we call rationalization. So the conjugate of 3 minus Surds 6 is 3 plus Surds 6. And that's what you are using to multiply up and down like this. Then this 3 will multiply this, and this will multiply this. And we can see that this and this are different of two squares. So we don't need to multiply them out step by step. You can use the idea of difference of two squares. So that means you'll be having 3 squared minus Surds 6 squared for the denominator. Then numerator 3 will multiply 3, that gives us 9. Then 3 times Surds 6 give us 3 Surds 6. Then from there we can simplify further. 3 square is 9. Then Surds 6 square is 6. So from there, you'll be having 9 plus 3 Surds 6 over 3, because 9 minus 6 will give us 3. Then from there, you can factorize the numerator. 3 is common, so you can factorize 3 out. So you have 3 into 3 plus Surds 6 over 3. So 3 can cancel 3. So we have a 3 plus Surds 6 as the answer for this question from Surds. And if you look at the option provided, option B is the correct option for question number 1. Question number 2 is from indices. It's from indices, that is indica equation. We are given 1 over 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 is equals to 1 over 81 raised to power 2 minus 3x. You have to find the value of x. So it's quite simple as well. 1 over 9 can be written as could be written as a 9 raised to power minus 1. This is inverse of 9, which is 9 raised to power minus 1. Then 1 over 81 is also can be written as a it's 1 raised to power minus 1 as well. So, and we know that minus 1 will multiply this power of 2s minus 1 according to the law of indices. So minus 1 multiplied it, that give us minus 2x. Then minus 1 times minus 1 give us a plus 1 equals to, we can find the index of 81, which is 9 raised to power 2. Then that will multiply minus 1 here, give us minus 2. Then bracket 2 minus 3x. Then from there, this minus 2 will open this bracket as well. That is, it will multiply the power here. So minus 2 times 2 will give us minus 4. Then minus 2 times minus 3x will give us a plus 6x. Then from there, the base can cancel the base. So you are left with minus 2x plus 1 equals to minus 4 plus 6x. From there, you can take the like times. 6s will come to this side. You have minus 2s minus 6s equals to minus 4. Then plus 1 come to this side, become minus 1 as well. Then from there, we have a minus 2s minus 6x. That will give us minus 8x equals to minus 4 minus 1 give us minus 5. That means we can divide both sides by minus 8. S will be equals to 5 over 8 because minus will take care of minus. So our S is 5 over 8. And option B is the correct option for question number 2. Question number 3 is from Polynomial. It's from Polynomial. If s plus 5, s minus 5 is a factor of s cubed minus 4s squared minus 11s plus 30, find the remaining factors. So this is a cubic expression. This is a cubic expression, so it's meant to have 3 factors, and you'll be given one of the factor x minus 5. So from there, we can when we know that if this is a factor of this, so when this one divide this one, it should give us no remainder. So it should give us 0 as the remainder. So because this is a factor of this, as you have been told, so you have to get the remaining 2 factors. So that means we can use this to divide this. Then whatever we get as the quotient, which is going to give us a quadratic expression as the quotient, then we can now simplify the quadratic expression to get the remaining 2 factors. And that's what we have done here, right? We use this factor to divide the cubic expression by saying x in s cubed, that will give us s squared here. Then this s squared will now multiply x minus 5. So s squared times s will give us a s cubed. Then s squared times minus 5 will give us minus 5s squared. Then introduce minus here because you are subtracting. So introduce minus here. This one become minus, this one become plus. So s cubed minus s cubed will give us 0. This one become plus, it become minus times plus, minus times minus will give us plus. Then you are having minus 4s squared plus 5s squared. Minus 4s squared plus 5s squared, that will give us s squared. Are we there? So you can bring minus 11x down. So you're having s squared minus 11x. Also, you go again, x in s squared will give us a plus x. Are we there? Then we now use this one to multiply this again. X times s will give us a s squared. Then x times minus 5s will give us minus 5x. You introduce minus again because you are subtracting. So this one become minus, this one become plus again. S squared minus s squared give us 0. Minus 11s plus 5s will give us a minus 6x. Then you bring plus 30 down again. Then you go again, x in minus 6x, that will give us minus 6. Then from there, minus 6 times s will give us minus 6x. Minus 6 times minus 5 will give us plus 30. Then minus also, you will introduce minus as well because you are subtracting. Then this one become plus, this one become minus. So minus 6s plus 6s will give us 0. Plus 30 minus 30 give us 0 as well. So because s minus 5 is a factor of this, so you're going to give us 0 as the remainder. Then from there, you can see that we are now having a quadratic expression as the quotient. So from there, you can now work on this quadratic expression, which is s squared plus x minus 6. So if you simplify this, you can factorize it by looking for the 2 factors of minus 6 that we can multiply together to give us minus 6. And when you add them together, it gives us a plus 1 here, which is a plus 3 minus 2. Plus 3 times minus 2 will give us minus 6. Then plus 3 minus 2 will give us a 1. So and those are these it is the two factors we are having here that replace this x here. So 3s minus 2s will give us x minus 6. From there you can factorize. If you have x into s plus 3, minus 2 is common here, you have minus 2 into s plus 3 as well. The two brackets are meant to be the same thing, so you can bring x minus 2 together, then s plus 3. So that means the remaining two factors of this cubic expression is s plus 3 and x minus 2. And if you look at the option provided, we discover that option C is the correct option for question number 3. Question number 4 is from a logical proposition or statement. So logical statement of a proposition. So we have to consider the statement name X, the school bus arrived late, and another statement name Y, the student walked down to the school. Which of the following can be represented by if Y, then X? If the student walked down to the school, then the school bus arrived late. This is a one-headed arrow is a connective used for if then. So it's one of the connective that we have in the statement or logical proposition. If Y, then X. If the student walked down to the school, then the school bus arrived late. So if you look at the option given to us here, Manuela did not go to school because the school bus arrived late. So, and that didn't go well with what you're having here. The school bus arrived late, arrived early, and Kate ran to school. That also didn't go with what is given to us. Mary walked down to school because school bus arrived late. The student walked down to school. Mary walked down to school because the school bus arrived late. So you can see that this one really go with what is given to us, because the student walked down to school. Which of the students? Mary walked down to school because the school bus arrived late. So either the school bus arrived late or Miriam walked down to school, walked to school. So this also didn't go with the statement given to us. So option C is the correct option, or the one that goes with the statement given to us. So option C is the correct option for question number 4. Question number 5 is from integration. It's from integration, and this is a finite integral, or definite integral rather. So this is a definite integral, giving the boundary from 1 to 0, or from 0 to 1 rather. You have to find the integral of x into s squared minus 2 all squared dx. We know that this is a function of function. S squared minus 2 raised to power 2 is a function of function, which can be solved using by substitution method. So you can integrate this by substitution method. And how do we do that? Is by calling what you have this function in the bracket, and you can call it u. U is equal to s squared minus 2. So you can differentiate u with respect to x. That means you have the u dx is equal to 2x. If you differentiate s squared, it gives us 2x. If you differentiate minus 2, it gives us 0, because minus 2 is a constant. Then from there, we can make ds subject to the formula here by cross multiplying. When you cross multiply, you have du is equal to 2x dx. Then divide both sides by 2x. That will give us ds is equal to du over 2x. So you have made dx the source of the formula by getting du over 2x. Then we can return that back into this function given to us here. We have our x. We have already called this one u. That means we have been u squared left. Because of this square here, you have been having u squared times our dx is now du over 2x. Do you understand that now? Then from there, 2 can cancel 2. Sorry, s can cancel s rather. So you are left with u squared over 2. Then du, u squared over 2 du. So that 1 over 2 is a constant. You can go out of the we can bring it out here outside the integral. So you have integral of from 0 to 1 of u squared du. So you can now integrate u squared with respect to du here. So that will give us, if you integrate the u squared, that will give us the u cube over 3 plus c, and 1 over 2 is outside. So there's supposed to put this in a bracket and put the limit there. So you're having 1 over 2 into bracket u cube over 3 plus c. Then you put the limit 1 then 0. Then from there, this 3 can multiply 2 here because it's a constant as well. So you have 1 over 6 into bracket. We note our u from the beginning is s squared minus 2. So you can return that here. So you have s squared minus 2 raised to power 3, which is this 3 here. Then put the limit 1 to 0. Then from there, you can now introduce the limit. You first of all put 1 here. So you have 1 over 6 into x is for this one, x is 1. So you have 1 over raised to power 2 minus 2. Close the bracket, raised to power 3 minus, you put the lower limit 0 square minus 2 raised to power 3 also. From there, 1 square is 1 minus 2, that will give us minus 1. Then minus 1 raised to power 3 will also give us minus 1. Then minus 0 squared is 0, and so you have minus 2 left. Minus 2 cube give us minus 8. Then minus 8 times minus here will give us plus 8. Do you understand that now? 0 square is 0 minus 2. Minus 2 cube is minus 8. Minus 8 times 8, minus 8 times minus here will give us plus 8. So you are having minus 1 plus 8 left. Then minus 1 plus 8, that will give us 7. Then 7 times 1 over 6 will give us a 7 over 6. And that should give us a 1 number 1 over 6. So if you look at the option provided for us, option C is the correct option for question number 5. Question number 6 is from permutation and combination, but for this question it's from combination, not permutation. In how many ways can a committee of 3 women and 2 men be chosen from a group of 7 men and 5 women? Since there is no tie, you are not giving that there is tie, so it's for combination. But if there is tie, then you can say it's for permutation. So 3 women out of 5 men, sorry, 3 women out of 5 women rather, so that will give us a 5 combination 3, 5 combination 3. Then 2 men out of 7 men, that will give us 7 combination 2, which can be simplified further as the 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 factorial 3 factorial multiplied by 7 factorial over 7 minus 2 factorial 2 factorial. 5 minus 3 is 2, that will give us 2 factorial here. Also 7 minus 2 will give us 5 factorial here. Then we can expand this one to be 5 times 4 times 3 factorial, so that 3 factorial can cancel 3 factorial here. Also, you can also expand this to be 7 times 6 times 5 factorial over 5 factorial to factorial. So 5 factorial can take care of 5 factorial here. So technically, we are left with 5 times 4 here, which is 20, divided by 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2, times 7 times 6 is 42. Then over 2 factorial as well, that is 2 also. So 2 can go in 20, that gives us 10. 2 can go in 42, that gives us 21. Then 10 times 21 will give us 210 ways. 210 ways. So is 210 ways is the number of ways that we can get the committee. And if you look at the option provided, option D is the correct option for question number 6. Question number 7 is from a partial fraction. It's from partial fraction. You are told that given that 3x plus 4 over s minus 2 into s plus 3 is equivalent to p over 3 plus x, p over s plus 3 plus q over s minus 2. We have to find the value of q. So we only want to know the value of q here. So it's quite simple. Like I said, it's from the partial fraction. And how do we do that? This is the question I wrote here. So we can find the LCM of the right hand side. You can find the LCM of s plus 3 and s minus 2, which is still s plus 3 into s minus 2. Then s plus 3 in this, that will give us s minus 2. So s minus 2 times p will give what you are having here, plus s minus 2 in this will give us s plus 3 left, times q will give what q into s plus 3. Are we there? Then this can cancel this. s plus 2 into s plus 3 can cancel this as well, because if you cross multiply, this will multiply this and this will also multiply this. So but they will also cancel at both sides. So technically this will cancel this. So I mean we are left with 3s plus 4 equivalence to p into s minus 2 plus q into s plus 3. Then from there our aim is to find the value of q, not p, so we don't really have business with p. So but how can we eliminate this p here? Is by making our s to be equal to 2, because if s is 2 here, that means you have 2 minus 2 give us 0. 0 times p give us 0, so everything here becomes 0. So that we can find our q. So that means if our s is 2, that means you have 3 times 2, that gives us 6 plus 4, that gives us 10 at this side, at the left hand side, equals to 0, everything here is 0, plus q into 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, so you have 5q here, equal to 10. So q will be equal to 10 divided by 5, and that will give us 2. And option D is the correct option for question number 7 as well. Question number 8 is from sum and product of root of quadratic equation. Is from the sum and product of roots of quadratic equation. If alpha and beta are the root of 7x squared plus 12x minus 4 equals to 0, find the value of alpha beta over alpha plus beta squared. This is product and this is sum. So it's quite simple as well. From the equation given to us, we will know the value of our a, which is 7, our b is 12, and our c is minus 4. Then to get the sum of the roots, which is alpha plus beta, that will give us equals to minus b over a. And there was our b. Our b is equals to 12 here, so we have minus 12 over our a is 7 over 7. Then for the product, which is alpha beta, that is equals to c over a, and our c is minus 4 divided by a, which is 7. Then we have to simplify alpha beta over alpha plus beta squared. So we already know now alpha plus beta, we know that alpha beta, so substitute this into this. So technically for alpha beta you'll be having minus 4 over 7, which is this, divided by which I wrote as this, divided by alpha plus beta, which is minus 12 over 7, then squared. Do we understand this statement here? So if you understand that, that means you'll be having minus 4 over 7 times. We can change this one to times by this one going up, this one coming down. So you'll be having 7 over minus 12, which if you find their squared, then this one will give us 49 over minus 12 squared is 144. Then from there 7 can go in 49, that will be 7. Then 4 can go in 144, that will give us 36. So technically you'll be having minus 7 over 36 as the solution for this question. And the option provided says that option C is the correct option for question number 8. Question number 9 is from a function. Mapping and function. Is from mapping and function. If mapping f of s f of x is equals to 2 times x, and g of x is equals to square root of x squared plus x, find g of f of 45 degrees. So it's quite simple. Like I said, you are given two mapping or two function. F of x is 2 times x, and g of x is square root of x squared plus 8. You have to find g of f of 45 degrees. How do we go about this? You put your 45 degree into f, then whatever you get you put into g as well. You put f of 45, you put 45 into f, then whatever you get there you put it into g as well. Our f of x is 2 times x, so put 45 into f. That means you'll be having 2 times 45. So f of 45 is 2 times 45. Times 45 is 1. So 1 times 2 will give us 2. So that means f of 45 is 2. Then from there, whatever you get here, you now put that into g. So technically, g of f of 45 is whatever you get here, you put it into this g of x. That means x here will be what? 2. So you'll be having 2 squared plus 8. So that means you'll be having square root of 2 square plus 8. 2 square is 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. So you'll be having square root of 12 or surd of 12. You can still simplify this surd of 12 further, and that'll give us the 2 surd 3 if you know how to simplify surd. Or if you don't know, this is what you have done here. So that'll give us 2 surd 3. And option D is the correct option for question number 9. Question number 10 is from sequence and series. It's from sequence and series, and it's from a geometric progression, which is also exponential sequence. So you are told that an exponential sequence GP is given by 9 over 2, 3 over 4, 1 over 8, dot dot dot. Find its sum to infinity. So you have to sum this geometric progression to infinity. And since this is a geometric progression, we need the first term, which is 9 over 2, and we need the constant ratio, which is the second term divided by the first term, or third divided by second. So in this case, I did a second divided by the first. 3 over 4 divided by 9 over 2. Can change down to times. That will give us 3 over 4 times 2 over 9. 2 can go in 4, 3 can go in 9. That will give us 1 over 6. So we have to sum it to infinity. Sum to infinity is equal to a over 1 minus r, where a is our first term and our r is the constant ratio. So if you substitute that here, you have 9 over 2 for our a over 1 minus our r is 1 over 6. So from there, we can simplify further. We can find the LCM of this one, which is 6. And that should give us 6 minus 1 over 6. That gives us 5 over 6, which can be written as 9 over 2 divided by 5 over 6. We can change this one to times. That will be 9 over 2 times 6 over 5. And what can go? 2 can go here, 2 can go 3. 3 times 9 is 27 divided by 5, which we can change to mixed fraction or mixed number, because our options are in the mixed number. So 5 in 27 is 5, remainder 2. So we have 5 whole number 2 over 5 as the correct option for question number 10. And if you look at the option provided, option B is the correct option. Question number 11 is also from function, mapping and function as well. In this case, you have to find the inverse of this function. A function f is defined by f of s equals to s plus 2 over s minus 3, where x is not equal to 3, because if our s is equal to 3, that means this fraction will be undefined. Because if 3 is here, that means you have 3 minus 3, that means the denominator will be 0, so that will render this undefined. So find the inverse of this, of the f of x. You have to find the inverse of the function. So it's quite simple as well. How do we find the inverse of a function? We have f of x is equal to s plus 2 over s minus 3. F of x is same as y. So from there, we can cross multiply to make s the surrogate of the formula. If you cross multiply, y will multiply this, you have the equals to s plus 2. Open the bracket with y, yx equals to 3y equals to s plus 2. Ys minus 3y equals to s plus 2. From there, you can collect like times. So you have yx, bring s to this side, you have 3x xy minus 3 equals to these two, then minus 3y come here, it become plus 3y. Then from there, you can factorize x out here, because you have x, that gives us x into y minus 1. Because our aim is to make s of the formula here, so from equals to 2 plus 3y. Then to get our x, you divide both sides by y minus 1. And that will give us s is equals to 2 plus 3y over y minus 1. So from there, we can change this one back to y, and this one become, anywhere you see y, it become x. So you have y equals to 2 plus 3s over s minus 1, which is technically, this y is talking about the inverse of this function. So the inverse of this one, which is f inverse of x equals to 2 plus 3x over s minus 1. So that is the inverse of this function given to us. And if you look at the option provided, you discover that option B is the correct option for question number 11. Question number 12 is from coordinate geometry. We are given that M is the midpoint of T, given the coordinate of T to be 2, 4, and Q, given the coordinate of Q to be minus 8, 6. We have to find the length of MQ. So when we know the midpoint of these 2 points, which is our M, by knowing its coordinates, then whatever we get, you can now find the distance of this M and the length of M and Q. So the question is, how do we find the midpoint between 2 points? How do we find the midpoint of 2 points given their coordinates? So to find the midpoint of 2 points, so which is we are looking for midpoint of T and Q, which is labeled M. M is equal to S2 plus S1 over 2 minus comma Y2 plus Y1 over 2. This is the formula for finding, or template for finding, the midpoint of 2 points. So from this T and Q, we can get our S2, we can get our S1, we can get Y2, we can also get Y1. So in this case, our S2 is minus 8. So we have minus 8 plus S1 is 2 here over 2, comma, our Y2 is 6, and our Y1 is 4. So 6 plus 4 over 2. So minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6 divided by 2, that gives us minus 3, comma, 6 plus 4 is 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. So this is the coordinate of the midpoint of T and Q. Now that we know the midpoint of this M, we can now find the distance MQ, or the length of MQ. How do we find the distance between 2 points given the coordinate of the 2 points? We have the square root of S2 minus S1 squared plus Y2 minus Y1 squared. So this one will help us to find the length, or the distance between 2 points given their coordinates. So this is our M and this is our Q. So our S2 is still minus 8, and our S1 is minus 3 here. So that means we have minus 8 minus 3 all squared, plus Y2 is 6 minus Y1, which is 5 all square as well. Then if you simplify that further, minus times minus will give us plus. So you have minus 8 plus 3, that gives us minus 5 squared, plus 6 minus 5 gives us 1 squared. So minus 5 squared is 25, plus 1 squared is 1. So that gives us square root of Surd 26 units as the length of MQ, or distance between M and Q. So if you look at the option provided, option B is the correct option for question number 12. Now question number 13 is from differentiation, and we are differentiating implicit function. So this is a differentiation of implicit function. Given that y squared plus sy equals to 5, you have to find the y ds, which is the differentiation of this implicit function. And how do we differentiate implicit function? We have y squared plus sy equals to 5. If you differentiate y squared, because y is a dependent variable, so if you differentiate it, you have 2y, then you add your dy ds to it because it's a dependent variable. Then you're having xy here, you for differentiate x, you leave y. So if you differentiate x, because x is an independent variable, so that will give us a 1. Function of x is 1, then you leave x. So 1 times y, you differentiate x, you leave y rather. So if you differentiate x, that's 1. 1 times y will give us y. Then plus, you leave x, you differentiate y. So if you leave x, you have your x here, differentiate y, because y is an independent variable, is a dependent variable. So if you differentiate y, that gives us 1, then you add your divide dx. So 1 times x will give us x, the y dx, because of this dependent variable y. Equals to, if you differentiate 5, that gives us 0, because 5 is a constant. From there, you can take like times. This y comes here, become minus y. So you are left with 2y dy dx plus x dy dx. So you can factorize the y dx out here. So you add dy dx into 2y. This is not minus, so this is 2y. This is a typographical error. This is 2y plus x equals to minus y. Then our aim is to find the y dx. You can divide both sides by 2y plus x. So that means the y there will be minus y over 2y plus x. So we have been able to differentiate this implicit function. Then, and if you look at the option provided for us, option B is the correct option for question number 13. Question number 14 is from a set. So we are given uh, we are given this set P uh, as a x such that 2 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 8, and set Q as a x such that 4 less than x less than or equals to 12 are subset of the universal set U equals to x such that x belongs to real number. Find the P intersection Q complements. So we are given this range of sets. All these sets are in form of range of sets. So we need to interpret them before you can find this P intersection Q complement. So let's interpret this set P. That will be the range of values of S from 2 to what? To 8. If you can interpret this, 2 is less than or equals to X. That means S is greater than or equals to 2. So from 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, and S is less than or equals to 8 to what? To 8. So that means the set P will have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as the element in it. Also set Q, you're having 4 less than X. That means S is greater than 4, but less than or equals to 12. So that means we're having number from 5 to 12 for set Q. Then from there, also the universal set is that means our universal set will range from what? From where? From 2 to 12, because all the elements in the set P and Q, because P and Q are are subset of the universal set. So that means all the elements here are supposed to be universal set. So that means that we can say that a universal set will start from 2 and end at the highest number, which is 12. Then from there, we need our Q complement. So Q complement will be 2, 3, 4. Q complement is the element in the universal set that is not in set Q. Q complement is the element in the universal set that is not in set Q. 2 is in this universal set but it's not in Q, so you have 2. 3 is here, 3 is not here, you have 3. 4 is here, 4 is not here, you have 4. So you have 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on to 12. So that means the complement of Q is 2, 3, 4. So, and we have our set P already. So we are now to find the P intersection Q complement. So what is the interaction between this set and this set? If you look at it, so 2 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here, 4 is here. So technically P intersection Q complement is 2, 3, 4, which can be written in the range of sets as the element from 2 to 4. That means you have element S such that 2 less than or equals to X less than or equals to 4. So ranging from 2 to 4, that is 2, 3, 4. And if you look at the option provided, you can see that option B is the correct option for question number 14. Question number 15 is from probability. Probability. The probability that Atta and Tunde will hit a target in a shooting contest are 1/6 and 1/9, respectively. Find the probability that only one of them will hit the target. Only one of them will hit the target. Like I said, the question is from probability. So if only one of them you hit from the target, so that means attack could hit the target and it could fail as well. So that means this also today can also hit the target and fail as well. So the probability that one of them will hit the target is after hit the target, Tunde fail, or Tunde will hit the target, Atta will fail. That's the probability of only one of them hitting the target. Atta hit, Tunde fail, or Tunde hit, Atta fail. That's the probability of only one of them hitting the target. So the question is, since we know the probability of success of each of them, so we can find the probability of failure for each of them, which is probability of not hitting the target. So probability of Atta hitting the target is 1/6. The probability that Atta fail will be 1 minus 1/6. The probability of success and probability of failure will give us 1. So probability of failing to hit the target is 1 minus 1 over 6, and that should give us a 5 over 6. Then probability of Tunde hitting the target is 1 over 9. Then we can also find probability that Tunde will fail to hit the target. That will be 1 minus 1 over 9, and that will give us 8 over 9. Since we know all the outcome for the two of them, that means probability of only one hitting the target is probability of Atta hitting the target and Tunde fails to hit the target, plus probability of Tunde hit the target and Atta fails. So probability that Atta hit is 1 over 6. Tunde fail is 8 over 9. So 1 over 6 times 8 over 9 plus or, which is or. Tunde hit, which is 1 over 9, times Atta fail, which is 5 over 6. From there, we can simplify further. 2 can go in 6, 2 can go in 8. So you have 4 over 3 times 9 will give us 27 plus 5 times 1 here 5, 9 times 6 is 54. You can find the LCM of the, which is 54. 27 in 54 will give us 2. 2 times 4 will give us 8, plus 54 in 54 will give us 1 times 5 give us 5. 8 plus 5 will give us 13 over 54. So the probability of probability that only one of them will hit the target is 13 out of 54. So option B is the correct option for question number 15. Question number 16 is from statistics, and is from the mean of a group data. Mean of a group data. The table shows the marks obtained by student in the test. Mark is from 1 to 5, and the frequency is 2K112. So this is a group data now. These are marks. So that means 1 appear twice, 2 appear k times, 3 appear 1 time, 4 mark appear 1 time, 5 mark appear 2 times. If the mean of the mark is 3, find the value of k. So like I said, this is a group data. Then how do we find the mean of a group data? And that will be it's quite simple. This 1 times 2 plus 2 times k plus 3 times 1 plus 4 times 1 plus 5 times 2 divided by total frequency, which is 2 plus k plus 1 plus 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus k, that will be 6 plus k. So if you simplify the numerator, we have 1 times 2 will give us 2, plus 2 times k will give us 2k, plus 3 times 1 will give us 3, plus 4 times 1 will give us 4, plus 5 times 2 is 10, over 6 plus k equals to the mean, which is 3 given to us. Then from there, you can simplify further. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 10 is 19, plus 2k, that gives us 19 plus 2k. Then we can cross multiply from there. 6 plus k will multiply 3, that gives us 18 plus 3k. From there, you can collect like times. We have you can take 2k to this side, then this come here. So you have 3k minus 2k equals to 19 minus 18. 3k minus 2k is k, equals to 19 minus 18 equals 1. So the value of the k here is 1. That means 2 marks. These 2 marks appear 1 time as well. And option A is the correct option for question number 16. Question number 17 is from quadratic equation as well. That is the nature of roots of quadratic equation. Nature of roots of quadratic equation. And the topic is SS2 scheme. The nature of root of quadratic equation. If 3s squared plus ps plus 12 is equal to 0 has equal roots, find the value of p. Now, when do we have a quadratic equation to have equal roots? And that is when the discriminant is equal to 0. When the discriminant is equal to 0, that means the quadratic equation has equal roots. And what is discriminant? Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So this is the discriminant. When it's equal to 0, that's when the quadratic equation has equal roots. Where b is our p here and our A is a 3 here, and C is 12. So if you substitute that into it, we have B is P, so we have P squared minus 4 times A is 3, then times C, which is 12, equals to 0. So 4 times 3 times 12 give us 144 here. So you have P squared minus 144 equals to 0. We can collect like times P squared equals 144. Then to find our P, find the square root of both sides. So because it's a quadratic equation, you introduce plus or minus square root of 144, and that gives us square root of plus or minus square root of plus or minus 12 as value of our P. So option D is the correct option for question number 17. Question number 18 is from logarithm. We have to simplify this log sod 27 minus log sod 8 over log 3 over minus log 2. So it's very simple as well. All you need to do is to use the laws of logarithm here. We can rewrite this sod 27 as 27 raised to the power half, because square root means raised to the power half, minus log. Even this one as well, I can rewrite this one as 8 raised to the power half as well, over log 3 minus log 2. And according to the law of logarithm, this power here can go to the back of the log. So that means you have half log 27 minus half log 8 over log 3 minus log 2. So half is common to this, so you can factorize half out of it. So you have half into log. You can change this one to index form. That gives us 3 raised to the power 3 minus log. You can change this one to index form as well. That gives us 2 raised to the power 3 as well, over log 3 minus log 2. And since we know that this 3 and this 3 here, the power here also will go to the back of the log as well. So you have this 3 will come to the back here, this 3 also will come to the back here. So, and you can also factorize the 3, this 3 at the back, and this you can factorize out of the from here as well. So that may be having 1 over 2 times 3 that you have factorized into log 3 minus log 2 over log 3 minus log 2. So this can cancel this. Log 3 minus log 2 can cancel log 3 over minus log 3 minus log 2 here. So this can cancel this. So you are left with half times 3, and that will give us 3 over 2. So it's quite simple. And if you look at the option provided, option D is the correct option for question number 18 as well. Question number 19 is from motion. It's from mechanics in also in further mathematics. A particle begins to move at 27 meters per second along a straight line with constant retardation of 9 meters per second square. Calculate the time it took the particle to come to a stop. Like I said, this question is from the motion. We are given the initial velocity of the particle, and then we are given the deceleration, that is a negative acceleration, negative acceleration of the particle. We have to find the time it took the particle to come to a stop. So our v is initial velocity is 27 meters per second square. So when the particle later stop, final velocity will be 0, and we are given the negative acceleration, which is the retardation given to us, which is minus 9 meters per second squared. So we are looking for the value of our t. So if you look at all the equation of motion that we know, there is one that we can substitute this value into to get our t. We have our v is equal to u plus 8t. So v is equal to 0 here, equals to u is 27 plus our a is minus 9, then multiply by t. So from there you have a 27 minus 9 times t will give us minus 9t. Then collect like times, we have this come here, you have minus 27 equals to minus 90, divide both side by minus 9, then that will give us t to be equals to 3 seconds. So option B is the correct option for question number 19. Question number 20 also is from the combination. In how many ways can 4 mathematicians be selected from 6? Since there is no tie, I mean there is a tie, then we could have used permutation. So how many ways can 4 mathematicians be selected from 6? So, and that should be 6 combination 4. Then that should give us 6 factorial over 6 minus 4 factorial 4 factorial, which can be 6 minus 4 is 2 factorial. Then from there you can expand this to be 6 times 5 times 4 factorial, so that 4 factorial can take your 4 factorial here. So this cancel this. You have 6 times 5, which is 30, divided by 2. Then 2 factorial is 2. So 2 into 30 will give us 15. So that means we have 15 ways in which this can be done. So option A is the correct option for question number 20. So I hope you have been enjoying the solution step by step from the beginning. We have just solved the half of the questions that we have for this 2023 WAEC for the mathematics objective questions. So we are left with 20 questions to go. So before we continue, please, if you are here to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button on this channel right now. Also give a thumb up to this video, click on the notification buttons, share the video, like it, and comment in the comment section of this video. Please share with the students out there who need these resources or this material to prepare for the forthcoming GC or the next WAEC in 2024. So without wasting much of our time, let's jump to question number 21. Question 1 is from the linear transformation. Some linear transformation. A linear transformation on the OXY plane is defined by P such that x, y is equals to 2x plus y, minus 2y. You have to find P squared. So this can be written in the matrix form. So this is a coordinate, or we know. So this can be written in matrix form. We are having the equation of x here is 2. Equation of y here is 1. So this one is only having minus 2y. That means the x there is 0. So the equation of x is 0, and equation of y is minus 2. So that's the matrix for P. Then you have to find P squared. So that means you have P squared to be this in 2 places. So 2 1 minus 0 minus 1, 2 1 0 minus 1. So we need to multiply this by this. So 2 by true matrix multiplying 2 by true matrix, so they can multiply. So that means the row will multiply the column. This row also will multiply this column as well. So you have 2 times 2 give us 4. Then 1 times 0 will give us 0. That's 4 plus 0 here. Then 2 times 1 will give us 2. Then 1 times minus 2 will give us a minus 2. Also 0 times 2 will give us 0. Minus 2 times 0 will give us 0 as well, plus 0. Also 0 times 1 will give us a 0. Then minus 2 times minus 2 will give us plus 4. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. So that means the P square will give us 4004. And as you can see, option C is the correct option for question number C. So for question number 21 rather. Question number 22 is also from the motion. The velocity of a body of mass 4.5 kilogram increases from 10 meter per second, 060 degrees to 50 meter per second, 060 degrees in 60 seconds. Calculate the magnitude of the force acting on it. So this is the motion related to force. Now we know that the acceleration is equals to change in velocity over time. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity over what time. Then from there, we also know that force is equal to mass times acceleration. Force is mass times acceleration. So if you substitute this for acceleration into this, you have a F is equal to m into v minus u over t. So we know the final velocity, which is 50, and we know the final velocity, which is 10. We need the final velocity is 50, which we know the initial to be 10. So and we know the mass of the body, which is 4.5 kilogram. If we know the time it takes, which is 16 seconds. So if you substitute that here, you have 4.5 into 10 minus 50 over 16. Then 10 minus 10, 50 minus 10 is 40 divided by 16. Then if you simplify that, that should give us 11.4 Newton as the force, the magnitude of the force acting on it. And option C is the correct option for question number 22. Question number 23 is from binomial expansion. It's from binomial expansion. We have to find the fifth term in the binomial expansion of q plus x raised to power 7. We have to find the fifth expansion. So you have to find the fifth term rather. Now, if you expand this, it's quite simple as well. We could have used Pascal triangle to get the question of the terms, but since you have to use binomial expansion, how do we do that? So the first term here will carry the power of 7, then this one will carry the power of 0 divided by 0 factorial plus 7 will come down, so you have 7. Then you remove 1 from the power, that means you have 7 q raised to power 6. Then you increase the power of this one by 1, that will be s raised to power 1 over 1 factorial. The next term, 6 will come down as well, so you have 7 times 6. Remove 1 from the power, that will give us q raised to power 5. Increase the power of this one by 1, that will give us s squared over 2 factorial. Plus 5 come down as well, you have 6 times 5. Remove 1 from the power, q raised to power 4. Increase the power by 1, s raised to power 3 over 3 factorial. Then 4 come down again, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4. Remove 1 from the power, 3. Add 1 to the power, 4 over 4 factorial. I think this is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is where you are stopping. This one is not necessary. This system is not necessary, so it's a mistake. So you are working on this fifth term, so you are going to stop here. So you can now grab this one and simplify it. So the fifth term is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 q raised to power 3 s raised to power 4 over 4 factorial. So if you simplify this, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 give us 840. 4 factorial is 24. Am I correct? 4 times 3 is 12 times 2 is 24. So, okay, so 4 factorial is 24. Then 24 can go in 840, that gives us a 35 q raised to power 3 s raised to power 4. So, and if you look at the option given to us, option C is the correct option for question number 23. Question number 25 is from trigonometric ratio of compound angles. Trigonometric ratio of compound angles. We are given that solve 6 sine 2 theta tan theta minus 4, where theta is from 0 to 90 degrees. So we have to solve this. 6 sine 2 theta times theta equals to 4. So we know that this is a compound angle. Sine 2 theta is a compound trigonometric ratio because 2 theta is a compound angle. So what is sine 2 theta? Sine 2 theta is same thing as 2 sine theta cos theta. 2 sine theta cos theta. So if you replace this one by this one here, so you'll be having 2 times 6 will give us 12. Sine theta cos theta, then tan theta equals to 4. We also know that tan theta is same thing as sine theta over cos theta. So from there, cos can take care of cos here. Then sine theta times sine theta will give us a sine square theta. So you'll be having 12 sine square theta left equals to 4. So you can divide both sides by 12. That gives us sine square theta equals to 4 over 12. And that should give us 0.3333. Then from there, you can find the square root of both sides to remove this square here. So that means you have sine theta equals to square root of 0.333. And that should give us 0.5774. So to get our theta, we need to find the sine inverse of 0.5774. And theta will be 35.26 degrees. So option A is the correct option for the value for question number 25 as well. Question number 26 is from vectors. It's from vectors. We have to find the angle between two vectors. So we have to find the angle between these two vectors, 5i plus 12j equal and minus 2i plus 3j. We have to find the angle between these two vectors. How do we find the angle between two vectors? We have cos theta, which is where theta is the angle between them, equals to the dot product of the two vectors, over the magnitude of the two vectors, or the modulus of the two vectors multiplied themselves. So if you do that, let's do the dot product. That means 5i times minus 2i will give us minus 10i. Then 12j times 3j will give us 36. Then over, to find the modulus of a vector, that means you have the square of this, so the square root of this plus square of this. So that will give us a 5 square plus 12 square, the square root. Then modulus of this as well will be square root of minus 2 squared plus 3 squared. From there, minus 10 plus 36 will give us 26 over 5 squared is 25 plus 12 squared, that is 144, then plus 25, that gives us 130, 169. Then square root of 169 is 13. Then here you are having minus 2 squared is 4 plus 3 squared, which is 9. 9 plus 4 gives us 13. So you're having 13 left here, or square root of 13, which if you simplify with your calculator, it gives us 0.5547. Then from there we have to find theta, so you can do the cos inverse of this 0.5547, and that should give us 56.3 as the angle between the two vectors. And option B is the correct option for question number 26. Question number 27, the distance s in meters moved by a body in t seconds is given by s equals to 5t cubed minus 19 over 2t squared plus t 6t minus 4. Calculate the acceleration of the body after 2 seconds. This question is from differentiation, but it's from the application of the differentiation to motion. Application of differentiation to rectilinear motion, or motion on the straight line. Now you have been given the equation of the distance, so you have to find the acceleration after 2 seconds. So from distance, if you differentiate distance with time, we'll get velocity. So distance, if you differentiate distance with time, we will get the velocity. So that means if you differentiate distance with time, the s, the t, that should give us if you differentiate this one, give us 3 come down, you have 15, then remove 1 from it, that will give us 15t squared minus, if you differentiate this, 2 come down, that should be 19 over 2 times 2t. Then if you differentiate 6t, that gives us 6. If you differentiate minus 4, that gives us 0. 2 can take care of 2 here, so you are left with 15t squared minus 19t plus 6, which is the s, the t, which is the same thing as the velocity. So distance over time will give us the velocity. So if I differentiate velocity with time as well, that will give us acceleration. So that should mean you can differentiate this in the again. That will give us the 2s over the t squared. That means we are differentiating velocity with time again. That gives us acceleration, because we are working on acceleration. So that will give us 2 come down, you have 30t minus 19 as the acceleration. Then our t is 2 after 2 seconds. We're looking for acceleration after 2 seconds. So put your 2 here. That means 30 times 2 minus 19. That will give us 60 minus 19, and that will give us 41 meters per second squared as the acceleration after these 2 seconds. And option D is the correct option for question number 27. Question number 28 is from the differentiation, also the application of differentiation to gradient and normal to a curve. So find the equation of the normal to the curve y 3x cubed square plus 2 at point 1 comma 5. So we have to find the equation of a normal. A normal, what's a normal? A normal is a straight line that is perpendicular to a curve at the point of tangention. A normal is a straight line that is perpendicular to a curve at the point of tangention. So when you have a curve and it is a quadratic equation that can give us a curve, and you draw a tangent to that curve at a particular point, this point given to us, then you draw a straight line that is perpendicular to that curve, and it is touching the curve at the point of tangention, and that is a normal. So that means a normal is a straight line. That means it's supposed to give us a linear equation when we are as we are looking for equation of that normal. It's supposed to give us a linear equation. As you can see, each of the equation are linear equation of two variables. So there are many ways in which you can get don't let me say many, that's an exaggeration. There are like 2 or 3 ways in which you can get this equation, but I think the smart method is to use this method. How? Since we can find the gradient of the curve, we can find the gradient of the curve at this particular point. So because if you know the gradient of that curve at this particular point, so that means we will know the gradient of the normal as well. So when you know the gradient of the normal, then you can now substitute it into the equation of this linear equation to find the equation. So you can find the gradient of this curve, which is y equals to 3x squared plus 2. If you differentiate y raised to x, which is talking about the gradient of the curve. So that will give us 6s s squared. Am I right? That is wrong. Sorry, that's a mistake from there. If I differentiate this, it shouldn't be 6s squared, it should be 6x rather. So that's a mistake, but nevertheless, it will still give us the same answer. It should give us answer. So because our s is 1, so it's going to give us the same answer, but this is wrong. It's supposed to be 6x, not 6s squared. So pardon me for that error. But we are still going to get the same answer because of the value of our x that we substitute here. But let's correct this. The y ds is equal to 6x, not 6s squared. So that means this is the gradient of the curve at any point. But we are given at a point 1 comma 5. So that means our s is 1 in this case. So at this point where s is 1, so if you put 1 here, so that means you're having 6 times 1, not 6 times 1 squared. So 6 times 1 will still give us 6. So that means the gradient of the curve at the point of tangential to the normal is 6. So technically, the equation of the normal should give us a linear equation which will follow the template of linear equation y equals to ms plus c. So where m is the gradient, so y is equal to 6. So if you put your m is 6, you have a y equals to 6x plus c. Then at this point also we can find the c, which is the y-intercept. So at 1 comma 5, we will be having our y to be 5 and our s to be 1. So that means you have if you put 5 here, you'll be having 5 equals to 6 times 1 plus 6. So we have 5 equals to 6 plus c. Then collect light and c will be 5 minus 6, and that gives us minus 1. Return this back into this equation here. You have y equals to 6x minus 1. So if you move everything here, you have y minus 6x plus 1 equals to 0, which is the equation of the normal we are looking for as a linear equation. So option C is the correct option for question number 28. Question number 29 is from the statistics as well, and in this case is from measure of dispersion of a group data. Adu scores in 5 subjects in an examination are 85, 84, 83, 86, and 87. Calculate the standard deviation. And look at the data given to us. It is an ungrouped data. So we are looking for the standard deviation of an ungrouped data. So what's the formula of finding standard deviation of an ungrouped data? We have the square root of summation of x minus x bar squared over n. Our x are the data given to us. Our s bar is the mean. our n is the number of data we have here. So that means we need to first of all find the value of our x bar, which is our mean. We need to find our mean first. So we need to find our mean by adding all these numbers together and dividing it by number of data we have there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 data. So we have 85 plus 84 plus 83 plus 86 plus 87 divided by 5. If you sum this together, that gives us 425 divided by 5. That gives us 85. So that means the mean or the average of this set of data is 85. Then from there, we can now populate this deviation x minus x bar. So you can tabulate that one. These are our x. These are the values of our x. Then you can find x minus x bar. That means this x minus x bar. So we have 85 minus 85, that gives us 0. 84 minus 85, that gives us minus 1. 83 minus 85, that gives us minus 2. 86 minus 85, that gives us 1. 87 minus 85, that gives us 2. Then from there, you can square the deviation. 0 square is 0, minus 1 square is 1, minus 2 square is 4, minus 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. Then you can now sum the deviation. 0 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4 will give us 10. So when we have summed that, so you now go back to the formula, you'll be having square root of the this is 10 over 5. As you have gotten here, the sum of this is 10 over 5 as our n. Then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So square root of 2 is 1.4. And if you look, that means the standard deviation of this data is 1.4, and option A is the correct option for question number 29. Question number 30 is from deviation. Sorry, pardon me, is from differentiation. You have to differentiate f of a equals 1 over 1 minus s squared raised to power 5 with respect to x. So differentiation, and how do we differentiate this? Now, this can be written as according to the law of indices. This is inverse of everything you have here at the denominator. So you have f of x means y is equals to 1 over 1 minus s squared raised to power 5, which can be written as 1 minus s squared raised to power minus 5. According to the law of indices, this can be changed to minus raised to power minus 5 here. Then from there, this is a function of function. This is a function of function. So we can differentiate this by using chains rule. We can use differentiate this one by using chains rule. So by calling this function here u, if you call it that u, you have u is equal to 1 minus s squared, which you can now differentiate u with respect to x. So we have du ds to give us minus 2x. Then what do we have here? We have y is equals to u raised to power minus 5 left, because we have already called this one u. So you have y is equals to u raised to power minus 5. So we can differentiate y with respect to u. So that means you have the y du equals to minus 5 u raised to power minus 6. Then using quotient rule, what's quotient rule? We have did I say quotient rule? We are chains rule rather. Pardon me for that. Using chains rule, we have the y dx equals to du du times du dx. Because if du cancel du here, we have the y dx back. So equals to our du, the y du is minus 5 u raised to power 6 times our du ds is minus 2x. So minus times minus give us plus. Then from there, 2 times 5 give us 10 x u raised to power minus 6, which can be written as 10x over, because of 1, this one is same thing as 1 over u raised to power 6. So we have 10x times 1 over u raised to power 6, which should technically give us 10x over u raised to power 6. Then don't forget that our u is 1 minus s squared. So if you replace that back, we have 10x over 1 minus s squared raised to power 6. So if you differentiate this, we have this as the answer. And option A is the correct option for question number 30. Question number 31 is from set. So we are having x and y are two independent events such that p of x, sorry, that's a set, is from probability rather. So probability of x is 1 over 8, and probability of s union y is 5 over x, 5 over 8. Find the probability of y. The two events are independent, so that means there is no, they are not depending on each other. That means there is no connection, or there's no intersection between them. So we have probability of s is 1 over 8, probability of s union y is 5 over 8. Probability of y is what you are looking for. Then probability of s in direction y is equal to 0, because they are in two independent variables, or events rather. So using the rule for this, we have a probability of s union y equals to probability of s plus probability of y minus probability of s in direction y. This is equal to 0. So this is given to us as 5 over 8 equals to probability of s is 1 over 8 plus probability of y minus 0. Collect like times, you have probability of y equals to 5 over 8 minus 1 over 8. Then that should give us, if you find the LCM, that gives us 5 minus 8, 5 minus 1 over 8, and that gives us 4 over 8, 1 over 2. But if you look at the option provided, none of the option is correct. I stand to be corrected when it comes to this, but I think there's an error or mistake in the question. I stand to be corrected if I'm wrong, so you may drop the comment on this if I'm wrong. Question number 32 is from the binary operation. It's from binary operation. We are given this table represent the binary operation of x, y, z, w, and giving the asterisk as the binary operation. The table shows the operation asterisk on the set of x, y, z, w. So find the identity element. We have to find the identity element. The identity element, the rule is that a asterisk e should give us a. That's the rule for identity, and where e is the identity element. So then if you look at the table, the identity element, when I multiply the element here by its identity should give me that element back. So let's see, if I multiply this by this, it give me y. If I multiply this by d, give me z, give me. So but if you look at all the combination, it is when you multiply z by z, it give us z by. So multiply z by z, look at this row against this column, so this row against this column. So when z multiply, when z here is equal to z, it gives us z here. So technically the identity element should be z, this z here we are having here. So option C is the correct option for question number 32. Question number 33 is from the equation of circle. Equation of circle. You have to find the radius of the circle. 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 4x plus 5y plus 1 equals to 0. We want to find the radius of this equation of the circle. It's quite simple. Now the first thing we can do here is to make the equation of x squared and y squared to be 1 by dividing through by 2. So if you divide through by 2, you'll be having x squared plus y squared. Then divide this one by 2, you have a minus 2x. Then plus 5 over 2y plus 1 over 2 is equal to 0. From there, we can take this half outward to the right hand side. So we have minus half here. Then from there, we can rearrange, take s to the x, take y to the y. So we'll be having s squared minus 2x plus y squared plus 5 over 2y equals to minus half. From there, you can now complete this quadratic expression for x. We can also complete this quadratic expression for y as well. So, and whatever you do to this, it will affect the right hand side. Whatever you do to this, will affect the right hand side as well. How can we complete these squares? Is by halving and squaring the equation of x here and add it to both sides. Half and square the equation of y here and add it to both sides. What's the coefficient of x here? That's minus 2. If you halve it, that gives us minus 1. Minus 1 square will give us plus 1. So you add it to this place, you also add it to this side as well. So you have minus half, then plus this one here. Also this one as well, you have the equation of y. Quotient of y here is 5 over 2. If you half it, that give us a 5 over 4. Then square it, that will give us 25 over 16. Then you add it to this side and you add it to this side as well. So from there, you can change it, this one to a perfect square. That will give us s minus 1 all squared. You can also change this one also to a perfect square. That will give us y plus 5 over 4 squared. Then you simplify the right hand side. You can find the LCM, which is 16. 2 in 16 is 8. 8 times minus 1 give minus 8. 1 in 16 is 16. 16 times 1 is 16. Plus 16 in 16 is 1 times 25 gives us 25. If you simplify this, that gives us 33 over 16. So if you remember the template for equation of circle, given the coordinate of the center and the radius, you have a ax minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to r squared. Our aim is not to get the coordinate of the center. Our aim is to get the radius according to the question, which time you are dealing with the r square. So an r square is equal to 33 over 16. So therefore you can take the square root of both sides. R will be equal to square root of 33 over 16. And that should give us a square root of 33 over square root of 16 is 4. So that means the radius is sort of 33 over 4. And option D is the correct option for question number 33. Question number 34 is from quadratic equation as well. It's from quadratic equation, and it's from the, we have to integrate this function of function. So we have to integrate this function of function, and the only way you can do that is by using the substitution method. So you have to integrate this one by substitution method. And how do we do that? You call the 2x plus 1, you call it u. So when I call it u, I have u is equal to 2x plus 1. So that means I can integrate u. So I can differentiate, rather, with, we can differentiate u with respect to x. That means I have du ds equals to 2. From there, I can make ds solve of the formula because of this dx here. So if I make ds solve of the formula, I'll be having ds equals to du over 2. So from there, what do I have left here? I have integral of, we have already called this one u, so I'll be having u cube times ds now is du over 2. So you have du over 2. From there, this 1 over 2 here is a constant. You can bring it out of the integral. So you have 1 over 2 integral u cube du. So that means I can integrate u cube now with this du. So from there, what would that be? That will give us we're having u cube du. If you integrate it, that will give us u raised to power 4 over 4 plus c. So from there, 2 multiplied for that give us 8. So you're having u raised to power 4 over 8 plus c. But our u is 2s plus 1. So that gives us 2s plus 1 raised to power 4 over 8 plus c, where c is the constant. But in this case, they use k as the constant. So there's no cause for alarm. Still the same thing. So if you look at the option provided, you can see that the option D is the correct option for question number 34. Question number 35 is also from the mechanics. It's from mechanics. It's from equilibrium of a meter rule. You have to balance a meter rule. So a uniform beam PQ of length 80 centimeter and weight 60 Newton rests on a support at X, where PS is equal to 30 centimeter. If the body is kept in equilibrium by a mass of m kilogram, which is placed at P, calculate the value of m. Take G to be 10 meter per second squared. Like I said, the question is from equilibrium when you balance a meter rule on a knife edge. So you have to get the equilibrium and or sorry, momentum. I'm trying to remember the 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 proper terms to use for this. So let's continue. If this is the meter rule PQ and the meter room is a uniform meter room of length 80 centimeters. So that means the middle of it, or it should balance at 40, which is the middle. So the meter rule should balance at 40 centimeter. So you place this weight as that point, 60 this weight 60 newton at that point. Then also, so the support at x, so you place this denominator edge, the knife edge at x. So, and you have been given the distance between this P, the other point, the beginning, and this x as 30 centimeter. So if that should be 30 centimeter, that we can also get the distance between x and this weight, 60 newton. That will be 10 centimeter. So also we know the distance between P and this uh, x, which is 30 centimeter. So the weight, we are looking for the weight of this mass. You have to find, okay, what are we have to find? You have to calculate the m, which is the mass of the this weight. Now from there, we know that the moment, the clockwise moment should be equal to the clockwise moment. So from there, if that should be the case, we are given this due acceleration to gravity in meters, and also, but if you look at the length, we are given to it's given to us in centimeter as well. So that means we need to convert all this to meters. So 30 centimeter to meter will give us a 0.30 meter by dividing by 100. 10 centimeter also that we got here, also you can convert to 10 to meter as well. You have 0.10 meters. So from there, the clockwise anti-clockwise moment should be equal to the clockwise moment as well. So that will be force multiplied by the distance. Then the force also here, or the weight, multiplied by the distance here as well. So that means we will be having 60 times 10 centimeter, which later take to meters. Then from here, the weight of this one is uh weight is mass times gravity, as related to gravity. So then multiply by the distance of the to get the moment there. Then we are looking for our m, which is m times g, which is 10, multiplied by the distance to get the moment here. So that will give us 0.30 here, because this one is taken to meter. So if you multiply this, that give us a 3m, and if you multiply the right hand side as well, that will give us a 6. Now if you divide both sides by 3 to get the m, the mass, which is give us a 2. So the mass is 2 for this weight at P. And option A is the correct option for question number 35. Question number 36 is from a quadratic equation as well. If m and m plus 4 are the roots of this quadratic equation, 4s squared minus 4s minus 15 equals to 0, find the equation whose roots are 2m and 2m plus 8. So we have given this quadratic equation, and these are the roots of the quadratic equation. So technically, I can solve this quadratic equation to get the root of it, which will be equal to this and this. So let's solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. I will have 4 will multiply minus 15, like go minus 60. So I will now look for two factors of minus 60, that when I multiply them together will give me minus 60, and when I add them will give me minus 4, and that should give us a minus 10 plus 6. So this will now replace this minus 4x here. So we have 4x squared minus 10x plus 6x minus 15 equals 0. You can factorize this. 2s is common. You have 2s into 2s minus 5. 3 is common here. Plus 3 is common. You have 3 into 2s minus 5 equals 0. So you're having 2s plus 3 into 2s minus 5 equals 0. So from there, you can find the value of our x. 2s plus 3 equals 0, or 2s minus 5 equals 0. So 3 comes here, become minus 3, divide both sides by 2. You have a s to be equal to minus 3 over 2, or minus 5 comes here, become plus 5. So from there, and divide both side by 2, that means we'll be having s is equal to plus 5 over 2. So that means our m here will be equal to minus 3 over 2, because we are told that m and this are the root of this quadratic equation. So that means minus 3 over 2 is same thing as xm, or this sm plus 4 is same thing as 5 over 2. So m plus 4 is same as 5 over 2. If you find m there also, you still get m to be minus 3 over 2 as well. So since that we know our m, we have to find the equation whose roots are this and this. So we know our value of our m now. We can find 2m. Therefore, 2m will be 2 times minus 3 over 2, because our m is minus 3 over 2. 2 cancel 2, that means our m is minus 3. Also, you can also get 2m plus 8. So we'll be having 2m plus 8 to be minus 3 plus 8. Because 2m is minus 3, you have minus 3 plus 8. That gives us 5. So we are now to find the quadratic equation whose roots are minus 3 and 5. This you can do in many ways. You can say your s is equal to minus 3 or your s is equal to 5. Then try to bring them inside, expand the bracket. Or you can use the equation of a quadratic equation given the root of the quadratic equation, which will be s squared minus, open bracket, the sum of the roots multiplied by s plus the product of the roots equal to 0. So we have s squared minus, open bracket, the sum of the root, which should be minus 3 plus 5 multiplied by s plus the product of the roots, which should be minus 3 times 5 equals to 0. Minus 3 plus 5 is 2 times s. That give us times this minus here, you're having minus 2x. The minus 3 times 5 will give us a minus 15 equals to 0. So that means the quadratic equation whose root is 2m and 2m plus 8, when you know your m to be minus 3 over 2, is s squared minus 2s minus 15 equals to 0. Option D is the correct option for question number 36. Question number 37 is from a binomial expansion as well, like the one we have solved recently. We have to find the question of the system in the binomial expansion of this in ascending power of x. In ascending power of x, so you have to expand this using binomial expansion. It's quite simple as well. We have 1 raised to power 10, then this one will carry the power of 0 over 0 factorial, plus 10 will come down, then you remove 1 from the power, you have 1 raised to power 9, then this power of this one will be increased by 1, minus 2s over 3 raised to power 1 over 1 factorial. 9 comes down in the next term, 10 times 9, then remove 1 from the power, 8, increase the power of this one by 1, that will be 2 over 2 factorial, plus 8 will come down again, 10 times 9 times 8 raised to power 1, remove times 1 raised to power, remove 1 from the 8 here, you have 7, increase this one by 1, you have 3 here over 3 factorial. 7 come down again, you'll be having 10 times 9 times 8 times 7, remove 1 from the power here, you have 1 raised to power 6, increase the power by 1, you have minus 2s over 3 raised to power 4 over 4 factorial. Then next one, 6 come down again, 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, remove 1 from the power, you have a 1 raised to power 5, increase the power of this one by 1, you have a raised to power 5 over 5 factorial. So we are going to the sixth term. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth. So that means this is the sixth term you are working on. So you bring it out. The sixth term is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, 1 raised to power 5, then minus 2s over 3 raised to power 5. From there, if you multiply this 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, give us 30,240. 5 factorial is 120. 1 raised to power 5 is 1. So that one does not really matter. Minus 2s over 3 raised to power 5. 120 can go in 30,240. That gives us 252 into minus 2s over 3 raised to power 5. We can simplify this further. Minus 2 raised to power 5 is minus 32. Minus 2 raised to power 5 is minus 32. So multiply by these two, 5 2, then s raised to power 5 over 3 raised to power 5 is 243. So if you multiply minus 32 by 252, then over 2 raised to 243, then something can go here. I think 19 can go. So when you want, 19 can go up, 19 can go down, then you have minus 896 s raised to power 5 over 27 as the system of this expansion. So option D is the correct option for question number 37. Question number 38 is from the sequence and series and that of a geometric progression. So you are given that an exponential sequence is given by 8 sort 2, comma 16 sort 2, comma 32 sort 2. You have to find the end term of the sequence. You have to find the end term of the sequence. So like to know the end term of the sequence is by you have to know the formula they have used to generate this sequence. That's what the meaning of end term. What is the formula they have used to generate this sequence? How do we get that? Since we are told that it's exponential sequence, we'll know the first term to be 8 sort 2, and we can find the constant ratio, which is this divided by this, or this divided by this. So we have 16 sort 2 divided by 8 sort 2. Sort 2 can take care of sort 2, 8 can go in 16, that will give us 2. So the constant ratio is 2. So the formula for finding the number of term in GP is AR raised to power n minus 1, which means that the nth term. So the nth term you have to find is this. Our A is 8 sort 2. Then R is 2 raised to power n minus 1. So this can be simplified further by using the law of indices. This one technically means 2 raised to power n divided by 2 raised to power 1. Because when you apply the law of indices to this one, it will give us this one back. You remember? Okay, if you do. So this one will be 8 sort 2 times 2 raised to power n divided by 2 raised to power 1 is 2. So 2 can go in 8 here. So that gives us 4 sort 2 times 2 raised to power n rather. Then from there, this can be written as 4 times 2 raised to power n times sort 2. You agree with me that this one means 4 times sort 2 times 2 raised to power n. So from there, also we can apply law of indices to this and this by making this one, finding index of 4 that will be 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power n times sort 2. We can apply law of indices to this one, that will give us 2 raised to power 2 plus n, 2 raised to power 2 plus n, then times sort n, that's times sort 2. So there's nothing we can do further. So technically, if you look at the option given to us, option D is similar to what we got here, 2 raised to power n plus 2, then sort 2. So if you simplify it, you get this, and option D is the correct option. Question number 39, given that R is equal to 10 Newton, 200 degrees, and the N is equal to 16 Newton, 020 degrees, find 3n minus 2n. Your n is your R is this, your n is this. So if you put that here, you'll be having 3r minus 2n equals to 3. Our R is 10 Newton, 200 degrees, minus 2. Our n is 16 Newton, 020 degrees. Then from there, 3 can multiply this, that gives us 30 Newton, 600 degrees. Minus 2 can multiply this as well. 2 times 16 is 32 Newton times 020 degrees, that gives us 40 degrees. From there, this 600 degrees can be converted to using by what's it called, quadrants. It's equivalent to 240 degrees because it has completed one revolution or one oscillation. So that means if you remove this 360 from this, it gives us 240 degrees. Then from there, if you subtract, so in this case you are going to add the angles together instead of subtracting it. So sorry, did I say angle? The force together. Instead of subtracting it, you have 30 plus 32 Newton, that gives us 30 plus 32, that gives us 62 Newton. Then you subtract the angles, that gives us 240 minus 40, that gives us 200. So and the reason being that they cannot have a negative force. So so that's why you're adding the force together, then subtract the angles. That gives us 62 Newton, 200 degrees. And option A is the correct option for question number 39. So the last question for this video is question number 40, is what we're about to solve now. And the question is from the trigonometric ratio of compound angle as well. The trigonometric ratio of compound angle, we are given that sine x is 4/5 and cos y is 12/13, where s is an obtuse angle and y is an acute angle. So find the value of sine x minus y. So like I said, this is a trigonometric ratio of compound angle. Now you have been given sine s as a 4/5 and cos y as 12/13. So we could have done that. We could have drawn a triangle to find cos of x. We could have drawn another triangle to find the sine of y, but we can use a smart method. We know that cos square x is equals to 1 minus sine square x, using from the identities of trigonometric ratio. Sine square plus cos square will give us 1. So that we can get cos square x from there. Cos square will be 1 minus sine square x. So therefore, we can also find cos x by finding the square root of both sides. You can take in the square root of both sides. That will get rid of this squared. So you have cos x is equals to square root of 1 minus sine square x equals to, so square root of 1, we know that sine x will be 4/5. That will be 4/5 squared. If you simplify that further, that will give us square root of 1 minus 16/25. If you find the LCM, that will be what, 25 minus 16/25. That will give us a 9/25. And that will give us a plus or minus 3/5. But since our s is obtuse, we are told here that our s is obtuse. Our s angle s here is obtuse. So that means we are only going to consider the negative values of cos. So that means cos s will be minus 3/5. Also, we are given that cos y is equals to 12/13. You can also do the same thing you have done here by saying that sine square y because 1 minus cos square y. Then sine y will be square root of 1 minus cos square y. Since we know cos y, we can substitute the answer here. You have square root of 1 minus 12/13 squared. If you simplify further, we give us 1 minus 144/169. Find the LCM. That will be 169 minus 144/169. That will give us square root of 25/169. And that will give us a plus or minus square root of 25 is 5, square root of 169 is 13. So you're having plus or minus 5/13. But you are told that the y is an acute angle. So that means you're going to consider the positive values of this. So that means sine y will be 5/13 as y is acute. So now that we know sine of x, we know what cos of x, we know cos of y, we know sine of y. So we can now go back to this what we have to find, that sine s minus y, because this is a compound angle, is going to give us sine s cos y minus cos s sine y. Sine s cos y minus cos s sine y. So if you simply substitute all the values we have got into it, our sine s is 4/5. Put that here times cos y. Cos y is 12/13 minus cos s is what? Our cos x we got here. Where is it? Cos s is minus 3/5 times our sine y is 5/13. 5 can take care of 5 here. What else can go? Nothing can go here. 4 times 12 give us 48. 15. 5 times 13 will give us 65. Then 5 can go here. You are left with minus 3 times minus will give us plus. So you are left with 3/13. So you can find the LCM, which is 65. That gives us 48 plus 15. If you add, that gives us 63/65 as the value of our sine s minus y. And option D is the correct option for question number 40. So I believe you have learned a lot of things in this video that we have just completed on WAEC 2023 further mathematics objective questions. So I hope you have learned one or two things in the process of this discussion in this video. So I will see you again in the next video where we are going to be solving the theory for general mathematics WAEC 2023 and the theory for further mathematics WAEC 2023 as well. So before we go, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button on the screen right now, on the channel right now. Then please like this video, comment and share the video with the student out there, and give a thumb up to the for this video, and share it. And as you do so, may the good Lord bless you. Thank you, and God bless you.